Hey everyone, welcome to our live chats. We come to you every single day, Monday through Friday, and I'm going to put the times up here so you will see them. We are here at 8, 10, 12, 2, and 4, Monday through Thursday, and then on Fridays, we are here for you at 8 and 10. But this is a perfect opportunity for those who are new to airbrush or curious about Luminous and how to airbrush. So as you can tell, we start with no makeup on and we actually go through the process. So we go start to finish on how to airbrush, and you're able to ask questions as we go along. So you will see me airbrush, and I can also see your questions, and we can go from there. All right. So let's go over your starter kit and what you receive, in your starter kit. Your starter kit might look like this, and this is our icon. This is the icon. We also have the Icon Pro, which is a different color. So yours might look like this, but maybe a little different. And then we also have the legend. But all the instructions we're going to go over are the same. So don't even worry about that. It does come with 2 bottles of foundation, and we give you 2 bottles for 2 different reasons. One, you can practice with one of them, but they're the big bottles. And so we want you to use it. We want you to go through this makeup. And because there's a learning curve when you first start, that's why we do these live chats, but you're going to have it down in no time flat. But start practicing. Think of this starter kit as your practice kit. And then we also give you the 2 bottles so you can color match 365 days a year. And then we also, which we're going to go over too, and then we give you a bottle of love and a bottle of blush. Blush is super high pigmented. It's going to bloom, as they say. So it's going to intensify. So I'm going to show you tricks on how to use that as well. So these are the things that I want you to start doing as soon as you get your system. But first, I want to say hello, Deborah and Tamberly and Connie and Jacqueline. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Patty. The gang's all here. So I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. I was out of town and had some fun girls' weekend with girls that I've known forever. And it was just so much fun. Well, it was needed just to decompress. I didn't put on an ounce of makeup the whole entire time. So it was kind of cool. Hey, Brenda, good morning to you. All right. So these are the things that I want you to start doing. As soon as you get the system, get it out. Start playing with it. Just have fun. Hello, Amber. Just start having fun. As soon as you turn it on, there's air that comes out. And so make sure that you are utilizing that air, because wherever you feel the air is where the makeup's going to go. No product is being released until you pull back on this bad boy right here. So you're in control over how much coverage, because that's all in the passes, and how much product is being let out. And we don't want a lot of product being let out. This is not traditional makeup. So make sure you are pulling super, super light on that. Also, make sure to keep the stylus moving. Of course, that makes sense because we're moving the makeup around. Then you want to make sure that you do keep it at least 4 finger widths away when you're doing the foundation. And then the big thing is the barely pulling back on the trigger. We definitely want you to get that down, and you can practice on paper. You can practice on a paper towel, because actually seeing it helps you tremendously because of the fact that you'll see if there's hot spots. Hot spots are going to tell you that maybe you pulled back too hard on the trigger initially, or maybe you didn't move. You can see if there's streaking. If you can see the streak and it doesn't look blurred and flawless, then you know maybe you're a little bit too close. So that's very telling when you are doing, when you're airbrushing some like a paper towel or piece of paper. And then you can always practice on a friend. So the actual seeing it, so you're not doing it yourself, sometimes helps as well. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. All right, let's get going. All right, there's a little mark on my computer screen, and I was like, what is on me? But I thought it was a bug, and I was about to freak out, but all right, we are good to go. So when I do the noons, I always like to go over the starter kit. Basically, I call it like naturally nude makeup at noon. Noon. So we're going to go over the starter kit and how to use it. I might use a couple of more items that that are not in the starter kit, but you will know. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually put on my Glow, and Glow is our highlighter. Glow is going to highlight underneath here. It is going to hide my darkness on my lids and the darkness here. Even though this is not like my shade, it's a highlighter shade. It's because there's pigment in it, it's going to give me coverage. So shaking it up, and I'm going to put a couple of drops, 3 right in there. And then I always like to start my movement first and then pull back on the trigger. It will help you to not get the hot spots or streaking, and it basically, you'll just get into that movement, before pulling back on the trigger. So I'm going underneath my eyes. There is air that's blowing out because it is on. You can see it in my hair a little bit. And I'm going to lightly pull back on my trigger. And I'm always moving. I'm never doing one spot like this. Even though my stylus is moving, I'm not moving it around my face, because that's just gonna, it's not gonna work. That's not airbrushing, right? So always move on whatever, like on the pass, the initial pass that you're making. You'll never go in one spot twice on the initial pass. There'll be like you'll go over it a little bit, or not overspray. What's the word I'm looking for? They'll lap each other, but you're not going to go over that same spot. Does that make sense? So if this is a pass, so I'm going to go here. I'll show you here. If that's a pass, then I go here. Overlapping. Thank you. So that's how it is. Does that make sense? So I'm never going to do this. One pass. Moving it down. Moving it down. Moving it down. All right? So I'm going to go in, do a little more on my lid. I'm going back over it, but I gave it some time in between. That's how you're getting your coverage, and that is how you're going to get the intensity of a color. Like if we were doing eyes and I needed that intensity of a color, and then see this, I got a little bit hot, so I'm just going to tap it out. No, Jeannie, this is actually Glow. So Glow is your true highlighter. You don't want to necessarily put a shimmer underneath here. You just want a true highlighter. All right, so now I'm going to go in with my blush. Now this time, we all know that my favorite blush is the one that Jeannie made up, our summertime blush. But I'm doing more drops because I want to show you that it does intensify. I'm just going to do Tulip, which is a very pink blush. We also have Soft Rose Blush, which can come out pink on people, but it can also come out a little peachy. So it depends on the skin tone, okay? So now I have my Tulip in here. I'm going to start that at my cheeks and work my way back. But again, moving my stylus before pulling back on the trigger. Now, this isn't, I could feel the extra coolness when the product was being let out. And so I knew it was coming out. But now I'm moving to this side because I want to give each side a little time in between. I have to move over so I can see my, make sure I'm doing it. Okay, you can already see it starting to pop up. And I always like to add a little on my chin and my forehead. I feel like it ties everything in. Okay, see how that's popping up? So I'm not going to use the rest of that tulip because we do know that that's going to come up because it's bright. That's why putting the natural blush in there is so good because of it kind of tones it down a little bit, tones it to more neutral. All right, so now using my Silk 4-in-1, shaking this up. I did just bloom, girl. I'm gonna go in here, put my drops in there. And I start with about 5 drops. Even if you're new and you just heard me say 5 drops and you're like, uh-oh, I'm doing, 10 or 20. That's okay. Know that every time this is in your hand, you're learning. So if I'm telling you something and you're like, well, that's not a true statement for me, know that you're going to get there. I mean, we had a makeup artist that when she first started, she was using 20 drops. But then again, she was going back to that traditional way of thinking and wanting to see it on. Once it clicks for you, you'll understand like, oh yeah, I don't need that much makeup because of how I'm pulling back on the trigger, because I'm like, it'll start clicking. So don't freak out. That's why we give you the 2 large bottles. So you can do that. You can go through it, because even if you're using 20 drops right now, that's okay. Because at least that's telling me you're using it and you're going to learn. It's in your hand, right? We hopefully learn from our mistakes. All right. So yes, it is blooming. Now I have my foundation here and I go in and I make my pass. Moving around, and I'm not racing. You don't have to hurry, but I want to keep moving my hand to get around and make one complete pass. Forehead, everything is done. Now, do I want this blended a little bit more? Well, yes, I do. I think what I'm going to do though is put a mirror up here. I'll put it right there so I can see. All right, so now looking into my mirror, yes, I know I'm going to want more coverage here. I can still see some issues on my nose, so I want more coverage there. I can focus my coverage just in those areas, all right? But even though I'm focusing on those areas, I'm still moving around. And of course, you can stop at any time. That first pass that you make, if you want to take it in sections, you can do that. You can go, okay, forehead, stop. Okay, now I'm going here. So you can keep going and just kind of break it up. Brenda likes the look, the foundation over the blush and highlighter. It really, especially if you're new, it really will help blend it, because, and to me, it's just easier to correct if needed. And then there's not so much pressure, like, oh, I don't want to spray too hard because I've already done my foundation. But keep in mind, guys, if I sprayed this and I was like, oh, great, now you can't even see my blush or my highlighter, I can go back and add another drop of highlighter or blush. So you can still correct it, but look how nice and blended that is. Now I'm out of foundation. So even if I looked in here and I was like, no, I need a little bit more, go in and put a couple more drops. Remember, it is always better to start with the low drops and add, because number one, let's say you start with 5 drops. Use your 5 drops. Could you make 5 drops go around your entire face? If not, then you know you're spraying too heavy. So that's going to help you in figuring this out. Okay, now look how nice and blended that is. Everything is blended. I did about 2 drops and that was it. Now, that's blue. I'm gonna get my Love out, which Love is a highlighter. It is, but it's the highlighter in the sense of it gives an luminosity. So remember that shimmer is going to draw attention to wrinkles and crinkles. That's why I say you don't want the shimmer under here. but as you know, depending on whatever your face looks like, whatever you want to highlight, anybody can wear a shimmer. We just need to watch where we put it. Where I put it might not be where you put it. It might, I mean, so it just think about that too. But with Love, because it's not so bright, it's more of a luminosity than a shimmer. And it is all, and that's not blush. I mean, that's blush. Hold on, where's my love? That was not love. Where did my love go? Where is the love? Where is the love? I know I have it in here. Ah, here it is. Okay, I almost put natural on my, that was natural blush that I had. All right, so I'm shaking this up. I was like, that looks a little bit too natural. This is Love, which is our highlighter or luminosity. It is not going to be as bright as the luminizers. All right, so now, oh, it feels so good. And it's hot in my bathroom right now. Jacqueline says it looks so fresh. Thank you, Jacqueline. Amber says I'm glowing and radiant. That's a good, like, I like glowing and radiant. We all want that youthful glow, don't we? All right, so I have Love in here, and I'm going to use it right here. I can use it down my nose, and I do have a light right here. So look how it, it just gives a little bit. I can do it on my eyes. And just to give it a little bit of some luminosity, not as bright as an illuminizer or something with a ton of shimmer. Super, super light. I did get some tan. I did. But we sat and Deborah said, Heather, did you get some sun this weekend? I got a little bit of sun, and my arms are like a little bit darker, which I'm so excited about. Legs, white as a ghost. Because we were in a pool and we were just standing there talking, and I'm like, I'm not getting any sun on my legs. So yeah, no sun on my legs, but that's okay. All right, so now, I don't know where hold on. I think they're down here, hold on. I don't know where my lip liners are. I go out of town and I don't know where anything is anymore. All right, so I'm going to use, I did get, oh my gosh, they're right in front of me. I wish I could show you because I mean, they literally like were right in front of me. Good thing I'm pretty. I'm just kidding. Jeannie says, oh, you do the brow bone with Love? That's your favorite? Me too, girl. I love it. Because it is very subtle. I mean, you could do it where you can really make that thing pop, but you don't have to do it so bright, which is great. All right. So now I'm going in and I'm using Crimson, which is our red. And you could be like, why are you doing the red? But I want to show you because I'm also going to do it with the lip jelly. So I'm not going to really fill in every inch. So I'm going to start, actually, I might put a little bit of lip jelly on now because my lips are dry. All right. I do have a little bit of the lip jelly on. And now, and this will, so the red won't come out as much. I mean, you can already tell, like, it's just subtle. And I'm starting to blend it in. I need to pop that out. Oh, this one's almost out. That's why. I was like, why isn't that working? Lining the line. to make sure that edge is perfect. And now I'm going to rub that in. Can you show us, oh, where to end? Yeah. And then to even come off a little bit lighter, I can just keep smudging. You can also take the point, get the color back in there and just use the edge of this to smudge out that line. Okay. But look, this is what crimson looks like. And look how soft that is. Again, remember how many times bam! Exactly. Remember how many times like I talk about blending the eye to soften it and to, all of that. Same thing with the lips is you can go in. I like to go in and get that precise edge so my lips look even, but then I smudge it up so I don't have that line on it. But there you go. Okay. Now eyebrows real quick. Jeannie wants to know, can you show us where to end the eyebrow? So if you weren't here for my eyebrow, you can take a eyeliner, pencil. I mean, this is just a spoolie brush. Balance it on the side of your nose. Don't push it in. Just balance it on the side of your nose. That's where they should start. Make sure it's even. The arch should stay on the side of the nose and cross the color of your eye. And then the tail staying on the side of your nose, crossing the corner of your eye is the end. Make sense? There you go. Boom! There you go. All right. Easy enough. So perfect natural look. Throw on mascara. I have Love on there. You could put a swipe of color on there if you wanted to. I mean, I don't feel you have to. You can just do the Love there and then do mascara. My concern for a natural look is at least my lids are covered with that the darkness has gone away. And so I feel more light and more complete, because what I'm normally very self-conscious about with my darkness on my lids, that's done. And so I have color with the lips, color with my blush. It's still very natural, and then mascara, and then I'm done. There you go. All right, guys, I will see you back here at 2 o'clock. We're going to continue. You'll have me the rest of the afternoon. So I will be here at 2 and at 4. So jump on back and come say hello. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.